Hello and a warm welcome to Federal Special Program Capital Beat. TMC Chief Mamata Banerjee yesterday in an organizational meeting declared that Trinamool Congress will go alone in 2024 elections, which means that Trinamool Congress will contest on all 42 seats without entering into any kind of alliance. Now, there were reports earlier that Congress perhaps wanted 10 to 12 seats, to which Mamata Banerjee disagreed, and she was ready to give only 2 seats. But apart from that, now that it is official that Mamata will go solo, so does this solo act of Mamata Banerjee change the political dynamics in West Bengal when it comes to relations between TMC vis-a-vis left and Congress? But the other way of looking at things is that everything is okay within India alliance. It is just a tacit understanding between Mamata Banerjee and Congress. That also could be a possibility. So we'll discuss how this Mamata solo act will affect the political equations in West Bengal and what does the complete picture look like. I'm joined by Chandan Ghosh, who is the Congress spokesperson from West Bengal. Thank you so much, Chandan, for joining. We have Trinamool Congress spokesperson Shubhankar Bhattacharya for joining. Thank you so much, Shubhankar. We have Monadipa Banerjee joining us from West Bengal, veteran journalist. Thank you so much. And we have Samir Purkasa, senior editor with The Federal, who covers the entire Northeast. Thank you so much, Samir. And let me begin with the conversation with Shubhankar. Shubhankar, now that Mamata Didi has said that she's going to contest on all 42 seats, so does it mean that Congress doesn't have any space to contest in West Bengal and Congress should give up all its hope? Or the other question is that, are you contesting 42 seats in concurrence with Congress?
First of all, Niluji, I think this is not the first time that I'm coming to your debate. And I've been doing a lot of shows. And if you remember, that lot many times I have already said, even when the talks of this India alliance was yet to begin, then also I maintained the same thing that, please consider India alliance to be a post-poll alliance, not a pre-poll alliance. Because this is the practical thing, because if you go through the entire dynamics of West Bengal, that suggests that, see, if it's, I think we will be taking maximum benefit, even as India alliance, if it is a tripolar, go for a tripolar fight. Because then what is happening is that number one, I think the communists can, take advantage of that anti-incumbency. I'm just trying to sound as practical as possible. So the communists will be able to cash on that anti-incumbency factor over there, number one. So they would be sharing that with BJP, which they have been trying to do. So we are allowing them the free space to do that. Both the Congress and the CPI, the communists at the same time.
Shubhankar, I agree with what you're saying, but the point is that while you do so, while you go solo, you are also sending out a perception that there are fissures within India alliance. India alliance doesn't is not staying united. In terms of perception, what has Mamata Didi done?
See, I think, it would be more harm to India alliance if we would have been fighting together over there. Because I think it's a long time I've been saying this, repeating again and again and again. See, wherever the regional parties are strong, they should have a proper hold on their own area, on their own ground. But if you just let, if we could have...
Does a proper hold, Shubhankar, I'm sorry, allow me to interrupt you, but does a proper hold mean that you do not give any space to a Congress? At least that's what the perception is.
See, no, this is funny. See, if I say that if we could have gone, and hand in hand, and Congress could have been given even let's say 5 seats or 6 seats or 7 seats, or let's say the 10 seats that they have been demanding for. Then also, see, then it would be like our own leaders in our own party, they could have gone with the same dialogue. That what wrong have we done? See, the threshold that we have, got hold over there in West Bengal since such a long time. You have seen the last election, the past 2 elections, and you have seen that there hasn't been any drastic fall in our own vote share. The thing is that even in the last election, you could see that the vote share that we dropped was only for 3 to 4%. But then what's the Congress out? On what grounds will they come up? See, if we have any kind of, say, hold in that
I'm just
particular
trying
area,
to
we could have.
understand, Shubhankar, from what you are saying, I'm just
Usually
trying to
today you are not
understand.
giving me enough space to complete.
No, I'll give you enough space. What you are making statements, so that is why I'm just interrupting you with the questions which are coming to my mind. Allow
Please,
me to
please
interrupt
go
you.
on.
I'll give you enough time. Don't worry.
I,
Point is that I
fine.
want to know that what triggered this solo act of Mamta Didi. Was it not, just listen to me? Was it because Congress became too demanding? They were wanting 10 to 12 seats, or you want a complete monopoly when it comes to contesting in West Bengal? You don't want Congress to share that space. I'll be honest with the answer. Yeah.
Let me give you a very honest answer. There was that inner voice coming in from the party itself. The leaders inside the party were never happy with the seat sharing thing coming up with Congress. Now, let us be very practical about it. Secondly, it was again the Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury factor was also over there. What happens, even you say this Bharat Jodo Yatra, why could not it see that kind of light it could have seen? The reason behind is any such event, it is basically organized with the help of the local leaders over there. So a very major decision-making portion lied on Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, which I think he failed to convey with his counterparts over there. We are never he never considered us to be a counterpart. Come on. And we shared never a good relationship with Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, but at the same time, see, Mamata Didi maintained the fact that, see, we are having a close relationship with Kharge ji or Sonia ji. Continuously, Didi has been, maintaining dialogue with them. But at the very same time, why is it so we couldn't understand that the same couldn't be delivered by Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary over there? Number two, like I said, that the voice from the inside of the party, it was so that none of the leaders, they have been working too hard in their own particular areas. Now, what happens is that you work you work to fight for elections only. A good leader is there to fight for elections. Now, for 4 or 5 years, they have worked so hard. Now, they are not ready to give us that space. And especially when you have a real good stronghold of that particular area.
All right.
Similarly, in particular places, but let me finish. I'll give you 2 or 3 components which could be easily be discussed over here. Now let us take the last by-election even in those areas, say in Mushirabad area, Rani Bagh, and so where actually Trinamool never had that kind of stronghold ever. So now it will give enough space even to our counterparts. I'll call them counterparts, whether communists like it or not. Frankly speaking, I still maintain that for communists also, we are we are that survival factor for them. They have to fight. They have to fight us to survive over there in West Bengal.
All right.
Right? They're
All right.
not fighting
Right.
BJP over there.
Right.
So
Now let me.
now the communists can fight. The Congress can fight openly. So I think it's a win-win situation for all.
Okay.
And
Okay. Okay. I got your
it is
point.
going to benefit
Right.
the India
Okay. So
only.
you are saying, Shubhankar, that it's a win-win situation for all. Now let me come to Chandan now. Chandan, how do you perceive this situation? Is it a win-win, or is it a big loss, or I would also say a face loss for India Alliance when Mamata Banerjee and Congress don't fight together in West Bengal? Now, I've been seeing you smiling for a long while. I really want to know if all this is happening with some kind of a concurrence, with some kind of a tacit understanding, or is it an all-out war in West Bengal where we see Congress, Trinamool Congress, and left as separate entities fighting each other?
Good evening, and thank you for allowing me to speak after a long, the sermons by Mr. Suvankar. Here, you must understand one thing. I mean, some stories must be unfolded. First week of December, Rahul Gandhiji called 20 officials of West Bengal Congress to learn about the certain idea of alliance. All 20 members supported against. So one should understand that where the Bengal Congress stood because of the reasons for a long time there had been so many allegations of the state government led by the Trinamool Congress. You can just adjugate 2 fronts onto it. One, the corruption led by the government abatement. Another, the kind of occupation and the forced occupation into the opposition parties' belts in several places, even murdering people, even blood splattering, blood shedding, just Not even a year back, the panchayat, the election had killed 60 people, including Trinamool versus Trinamool. And we lost 8 persons and 8 activists in the several places of Bengal. Try to understand the kind of sentiment that we are leading. We had expressed this for since a long time, and we have been debating this even in all channels, national, regional, that we are against the Bengal force, at least against the Trinamool Congress, and there is no alternative just because to telling the truth. And then this is a compulsion. Mr. Chowdhury, Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury, who is the floor leader of the Congress in Lok Sabha, has clear statement. I mean, Niluji, just try to find out one statement from Bengal responsible Pradesh Congress leader. Just give me one example. One statement that we had given in favor of Trinamool Congress alliance, and that's been the sentiment. That's been the sentiment of the Congress activists working on the ground, despite of the fact that we had come down to 6% or 5%. That's not the question. The question, we are still a negotiable force that is proved by the certain, the actions of Ms. Banerjee and the Trinamool Congress, even in the past. She said what? She said, we tried, but Congress never came in. And yes, of course, that is the truth. That is the truth. There's no question otherwise. You cannot challenge the truth otherwise. It has been the record since
I'll
last
come to you,
12 years.
Shubhankar, a little later. You had enough time.
Yes,
I'll come to you.
yes,
I'll come to you. Let him speak.
no, I tell you this. Yes, of course. You have the record of the last 12 years. Just give you one story to conclude here. If Shubhankarji wants to speak even further, I just give you one story. 2011 that we really came into alliance, and that's the Trinamool Congress and Congress alliance, formed the government. 2011, we were given in the kind of understanding, this kind of alliance understanding, 63 seats, and we won 44 seats. If you recognize the kind of percentile that we had during the time, even that was the only formation that we helped to form the government led by Ms. Banerjee, 2011, 13 months. Just we stayed there. We simply, pointed out corruptions growing on. We pointed out even the food scam that was the beginning. We alerted Ms. Banerjee, but ultimately she listened to herself, but she never listened to us. We left this. 47 years we are not in power in Bengal. Still, we have the guts to say we are not coming into power with Mamata Banerjee and the force of her. Just because we have to come to power. Alliance can never work. If there is truth, we must support the truth. Bengal Congress will stand by the truth. And that is what is the fact that happens in every election. How many elections have been forced out by the Trinamool Congress, the goons of the Trinamool Congress, I tell you, how much protection has been given. The police actions are being not being taken. Leave apart, even the police force by itself
No, but
suffered so many things.
Chandan,
So
allow me
do
to
you
interrupt you.
understand this?
Chandan, I heard you out, but allow me to interrupt you. You said that there is a general sentiment by the state leaders that there should be no alliance. You have your own compulsive reasons. You've listed them out. I'm not getting into that. But the point is that because of these dichotomies which are playing out between the center and the state leaders, the casualty, India alliance looks like a casualty. And the perception which goes out is that, look, here are two regional leaders. Now, two, I'm mentioning two because, see, everyone knows what's happening in Bihar. And I'm not getting into the Bihar story because tomorrow, of course, we will be discussing Bihar. I'm not getting into that, what Nitish Kumar is up to. But here you have regional leaders, one by one, who are falling apart. And India alliance looks like, falling
I need to
apart.
comment, please.
No, I'll come to you, Shubhankar. I want to hear
Just
from
one
Chandan.
little point. If you just allow me, I'm just asking for your permission. If you could allow me to make one point over here,
All right.
because this
One
is
point,
very
please.
much important. This is very much important. And let me answer Chandan a bit, because see, the thing is, because see, the leaders like Chandan, they sound more like a BJP leader rather than
No,
a
one
Congress
minute. No,
spokesperson.
let's Shubhankar, I cannot allow
Please
that.
take it
Shubhankar, please. Shubhankar,
This is the
please.
reason.
Shubhankar,
If you bring in
Shubhankar,
such a
sorry.
speaker,
No.
it's just like you
Shubhankar, no. You made your one point. Shubhankar, you made your one point. Shubhankar, I will not allow this. Please mute yourself. I will go to Chandan. Chandan, you complete your point. What I was asking, that India alliance looks like a casualty. Yes, sir, Chandan. Go ahead,
Of
please.
course, this is. Of course, this is. And we are very unfortunate for that. We had expressed our concerns, and we stated too, because we never sat with Ms. Banerjee or Trinamool Congress leaders. It would be done by the central leadership of us. I don't know, central leadership may well take some actions or something like that. But we are clear. We are clear. Ms. Banerjee should have understood, because Bengal force of Congress would work for this. It would not, because the national party always have the compulsions. All the national parties. So this is what is a compulsion here in Bengal, and we have stated clearly that it is not possible to go alliance with Trinamool Congress. Activists are not moved. This one point, and remaining remains on the decisions of the central leadership, the high command. But one thing I tell you, I am just to be acting as a BJP leader instead of a Congress, but it sounds like the same when Trinamool Congress fought against Congress leadership Congress contestants in Meghalaya,
Hmm.
in Tripura, and in Goa. What they were looked like, I don't know.
Right. All right. All
What
right.
they
All
were
right.
looked like,
You
I
put your
don't know.
point
I'm
clearly.
very sorry for it.
Fair
I'm
enough.
very sorry.
Fair enough.
Not
Chandan, fair
appreciating
enough.
our
Now
sentiments.
let me
Try to
come. Let me
understand.
come to Monadeepa now. All right, you made your point, or you made a point. So now, Monadeepa, we've heard both the parties, Trinamool and Trinamool Congress and Chandan Ghosh, both from Congress. Now, how do you think that the political dynamics will unfold now in the coming months? Now that it's very clear that Mamata is going solo, when it comes to the relations, when you look at the larger picture, the national picture of the India alliance, so here we have three separate entities left in one block, Trinamool in one block, Congress in one block, now fighting the election space in West Bengal. Now, how does the battle 2024 look like, Monadeepa?
If I can just make two comments on both the previous speakers, Shubhankar Da has accused every side involved in this whole situation of benefiting the BJP. I mean, he says the Congress will benefit the BJP by, refusing to go into an alliance. The CPM will benefit the BJP by refusing to go into alliance. But sometimes when you point a finger, four others point at yourself. I mean, I think the Trinamool also runs the risk of being accused of aiding the BJP by not going into an alliance, by weakening what already seems to be a very tottering India alliance. That's just a comment on Shivangoda. As for Chandan, today or tomorrow, if Mamata Banerjee comes and says, okay, Congress gets to fight 10 seats in West Bengal, what will you do? Will you take back all those angry words that you have thrown at Mamata Banerjee and the party, the Trinamool Congress? So these are issues that I thought should be raised because, we have to have some logic in the discourse that we are looking ahead to as the India alliance either breaks down or takes shape. In my view, I do not think the last word has been said on the India alliance by Mamata Banerjee. I don't think so. I mean, even she knows it is good for the Trinamool Congress also as a national party, and that's what it technically aspires to be, that it's very important for Mamata Banerjee to be part of this national level formation. Who knows what will happen in the elections coming up? But whatever happens, even if India has to play the role of an opposition in parliament, at least Trinamool will have a role in that national platform. I think Mamata Banerjee recognizes that, and though she is completely upset with the Congress at this moment, perhaps it's also a distress signal for some more attention, for a greater involvement. We all know that she's a little impatient with the way the alliance talks have been unfolding. No talks have been held for some time. She was very keen on seat sharing to be done by the 31st September. That didn't happen. Her offer of the Congress going and fighting 300 seats on its own, but leaving 245 to all the regional parties, that she said yesterday was ignored. She said she was humiliated. So, given all this, Mamata Banerjee, I don't know if she really has a reason to complain or whether she's manufacturing reasons. I cannot say. I've never been inside an India Alliance meeting, but she is a very important leader. She is crucial to the success of India. So, she definitely wants her space in
Right.
that. Rahul Gandhi, surprisingly, was very diplomatic in his responses to Mamata Banerjee's outburst, also to Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury's outburst the day before, which is the sequence of events that led to this Mamata Banerjee outburst yesterday. So Rahul Gandhi was very, very restrained, and yet Mamata Banerjee lost it. What happens next? In the eventuality that the three parties in West Bengal fight individually against the BJP in the state, perhaps Trinamool will be the biggest gainer, and politically that is perhaps the reason Mamata is willing to push her luck on this argument, that if the vote is divided between Congress and TMC, the opposition vote, then BJP loses, and that means she benefits. So I think she is willing to take the risk on this one, and she could well push for it to the ultimate end. But like I said, I mean, with Jairam Ramesh, quite rightly perhaps saying that an alliance without Mamata Banerjee is unimaginable, there's a possibility that there will be some efforts on everybody's part to mend fences. I've also seen some very strong statements from the South, from Mr. Stalin, saying that this rough patch should be, ignored and maybe put aside or sorted out as soon as possible.
Right. So there were two things, Monadeepa, which you said, and I'm going to come to you, Samir, now. That is this some kind of a distress signal also, as what Monadeepa was pointing out, that Mamata Banerjee isn't too happy with the pace of the India alliance. And the other point which Monadeepa mentioned is that Mamata Banerjee is trying to consolidate her position, which will eventually make the opposition look stronger when it comes to its projection in parliament. Now, what does it mean? And in very clear terms, you were traveling also during the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra in the northeastern phase, and you did speak to a number of Congress leaders. What was the signal you got? That does it look like a tacit concurrence of Congress and Mamata Banerjee, and all the leaders ultimately will come around to whatever is happening?
Nilu, first of all, let's be very clear that India alliance, as we know, there will not be a larger alliance in West Bengal. Left and Trinamool, I don't see they are coming together. That chance is, you can rule that out. As for Congress, both TMC and the Congress, they need each other. Not maybe not as much at the Congress at the local level in West Bengal, but for the larger scheme of things, they obviously need TMC. And for the TMC, the Congress support is very vital in West Bengal for the minority vote. Remember, even in 2021 assembly election, BJP got more Hindu votes than the TMC. TMC's mainstay is the minority vote in the state. And the Sagardigi, after the Sagardigi by-election result, it signals that there is some churning in the among the minority voters in the state. So there is the possibility of minority vote shifting away from the TMC if there is a larger alliance between the Congress, then this ISF, Indian Secular Front, and which is led by Muslim clerics, right, and the Congress. So and TMC knows it, but and then even in Darjeeling, another in the hills of Darjeeling, there is another development taking place. Hamro party has during this Nyaya Yatra, they have supported Rahul Gandhi's Nyaya Yatra. I met Edward in Imphal, Kohima. He was all along, going through this yatra. So there are lots of, lots of development taking place, and Trinamool is obviously keeping a close eye on that. What Mamata Banerjee is now, her statement and all, I think this is the posturing, because she wants to, draw hard bargain with the Congress, because she knows that ultimately, for the larger scheme of things at the central level, Congress will need her, but the state level, it is, because Congress had a very bitter experience with its alliance with the TMC in the past. Even after Sagardigi bypoll, this MLA was he
Hijacked.
became a turncoat. Yeah, he was hijacked, and so Congress. If you see overall Congress, at the local level, at West Bengal, Congress has nothing much to gain from this alliance with the TMC. And so at local level, at micro level, if you see Congress, and that's why I think Congress state leadership is against this alliance, because they think they tend to get more if they ally with the CPI. But personally, I don't know how much, though the Sagardigi experience was successful, but whether the CPM vote will transfer to the Congress, that is yet to be seen, because their experience from 2019 to 2021, this alliance with the CPM was not very successful so far. So, but still the local leadership, they are very keen to go with the CPM. And we also know, apart from politics, we also know Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury and Mamata Banerjee is a bitter rival. There is no love lost between them.
Absolutely.
So long Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury is heading the helm, is at the helm of affairs in West Bengal. An alliance with TMC is little difficult.
Right.
And in fact, I had asked Mr. Venugopal in Kohima about this. So he said, he just laughed and said, yeah, we have conveyed certain message, but we cannot discuss this probably, here. So,
all right. In fact, yeah. So, Samir, there's an important point which you mentioned, and I'm going to come to Chandan now very briefly, because this is a final round of questions. So I would want brief answers from all of you. Chandan, why can't you rein in leaders like Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury? There are murmurs in the political corridors that Congress cannot put too much of pressure on Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury, because if too much of pressure is put on Adhir, then he might desert Congress. Is that a fear which is lurking?
That's not at all. I mean, this is a wrong perception, even if someone is perceived about it. But one thing I can tell you here, it is absolutely right, Mr. Sameer said here. If you really see the history, even in the recent history, then you find that Sagardigi we won at a very comfortable margin. And then after, it's not only by 3 months that the MLA who won by the Congress ticket been transported. And certainly in the fold of TMC, and they enjoyed even saying Congress is zero. You understand the perception, that's the sentiment I was talking about. Second thing, I tell you here, I am still, sure, still, as you had doubted about, that if 10 seats, 11 seats, 8 seats, 9 seats given, would Congress be comfortable with this for this alliance? That might well be transported, with Manideepa also said about it. But I tell you one thing. Is there any guarantee, even the recent experience that we have, suppose we are into alliance and we are
So
given
you are saying that
comfortable
even
number
if
of seats,
Mamata
we
Banerjee
want
offers you 10 to 12 seats, you want
I tell
the
you,
state
I
unit
tell
will be
you,
happy.
I tell you, we are not even comfortable. She's not trusted. She might well be taking into fold. I tell you, the experience 2016, we won 44 seats with the alliance of CPI, I mean the communist parties. Finally, we won 77 seats. But we ourselves won 44 seats, 23. Manideepa knows it very clearly. 23 sitting MLAs were taken into the fold of TMC without giving even a slight, the responses to the request of the Congress. And is it a partnership can really remain?
Okay.
I think one should understand, can this partnership be remain? Is there a trust? 6 seats we win, suppose, out of 6 seats, except Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury might well be the seats being stolen out. There is
I got
no
your point, Chandan.
that is
All
what,
right.
the dreadful politics that our chief minister does here in Bengal.
Right. So
No,
I
that's
get your
right.
point, what you clearly said. Shumankar, very briefly. Now, this tendency to cannibalize on Congress was what Chandan pointed out. Would that be correct? And then surely it's not going to be a very happy story for India Alliance in West Bengal.
Of course, it's not a happy story at all, because if at the local level, I think the Congress is not actually sure whom actually they are fighting with. Number one, please choose your opponent very wisely and correctly. At a time when there is, of course, this Ram Mandir issue, at a time which has raked up, you have a very, it's not a formidable, you can't even prove yourself as a formidable opposition even. Because the thing is, you're fighting TMC in West Bengal, you're fighting Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab, you're fighting Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi, you are fighting Samajwadi Party in UP. Please choose your opponent, and then you are planning to shake up the government at the center. What kind of planning is this? At the very same time, when the local leaders who have completely immature idea about the national leadership or how to fight at the center shall always contradict with the central leadership. Either you are saying that your Jairam Ramesh is wrong, Mallikarjun Kharge is wrong, what Rahul Gandhi is convey is wrong, then you can always have your own perception, whatever you bear to have. But then you are actually hurting the India Alliance more. And I'm
Okay.
telling you, in this particular way, you are
Shumankar,
going
let
to
me get
give
in a
them a
quick
complete
response.
walkthrough.
Let me get in a quick response from Chandan, very briefly, few seconds to you, and then I'll go to Monadeepa and Samir for the concluding remarks. Yes, go
No,
ahead.
that's a very simple, very simple. As I pointed out, it's a very simple thing because I tell you that Trinamool won't understand the compulsion of the National Party because they are the regional party. Congress has the compulsion, and we have the fighting. We are the brave first fighter against the BJP all through the country. There's no question of it. There may be the good patch, there may be the bad patch. There is a turn of the cycling of the situation, and that comes. But it is not fair that the bargain point would be just at the firing score. It can never be. It's not that because it's not proven that they are faithful partners.
Okay.
Trinamool Congress is not anyway the faithful partner to Congress. That's
Okay.
proven in the past.
Right. So
They
it's
must
very clear
prove
that
their work.
Congress is suffering from a
They
deep
must prove
distrust.
that.
Congress is suffering from a deep distrust. I'm just getting, that message is very clear from you. Now, Monadeepa, right. So, Monadeepa, now what does the story look like in West Bengal? Very briefly. Yes, Monadeepa.
One of the things that Mamata Banerjee said yesterday cleared up a mystery. Who had coined the name India? She said, I had coined it. I coined the name India. So that's one thing is clear. So for someone who actually coined that, alliance name, acronym, why did she go ahead and do all that if her basic intention was to have no truck or no dealings with the Congress and its demands? I mean, so I still feel that Mamata Banerjee, if negotiated with, would be open to some kind of discussion. And, the Congress, on the other hand, and Chandan, please correct me if I'm wrong, Chandan, Congress's logic is that, the Trinamool lost several seats to the BJP the last election. So the Congress's logic is that give us some of those seats to fight. And there is perhaps some logic in it. Anyway, the bottom line, again, as I said earlier, I don't think the last word has been said on the India alliance. I also feel that one of the reasons why Mamata Banerjee is being, very, wary about the way she progresses with it is also that, for her, 2024 is not the last election. There is 2026. That's just 2 years away. And she has to ensure that the TMC perpetuates itself in the state. So she is not willing to take risks and give the Congress any ground. So maybe that's one of the reasons why she is playing hard to get. But again, I repeat, I'm sure she's open to negotiation.
Right. So if Mamata Banerjee is still open to discussions, as what Monadeepa is saying, Samir, so by when can we expect the real story to unfold, if there is a room still for further negotiation?
I believe Rahul Gandhi has taken break from this yatra tomorrow and day after. So maybe he will go back in Delhi and discuss both the manifesto and also this alliance. And within a couple of days, maybe at least we'll get more clearer picture. But and here I want to make one point. If this alliance, if Congress and TMC is not coming together, this might give an edge to BJP in West Bengal, because any this TMC cannot afford to lose any this any portion of the minority vote that it had got last time. So, so if there is a split in the minority vote, that will only benefit the BJP. And BJP, after this Ram Mandir, though in West Bengal the BJP's organization is in theater, they don't have booth level committees.
Right.
In around 60% of the booth, they don't have committees. So those things are there. But this Ram Mandir wave, we don't know how it will pan out as the state go to the election. And so
Right.
both both the TMC and the Congress has to be very very careful. And as Subhankar has pointed out, it is also imperative for the Congress to identify who is their main enemy, whom they are fighting.
Absolutely. And I think the next 2 days would be interesting to watch out. Lots might happen because it's a break journey for Rahul Gandhi. And also one has to wait and watch whether Mamata Banerjee accompanies Rahul Gandhi or becomes a part of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, which is in West Bengal currently, which will take off again after 2 days once the Naya Yatra begins again. Thank you so much. I'll have to end it here. We're running short of time. Thank you so much, Chandan Ghosh, Shubhankar, Monadeepa, Samir. Thank you so much. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this discussion, subscribe to our channel, send us your feedback, and stay tuned to The Federal.
Subscribe to The Federal's YouTube page for more news and updates.